What is up, my viewers? Yeah, I'm not really sure why there's no countdown timer. I'm assuming it is a counting down, but this is, yeah, I was right. This is another replay from Mr. Cobra being sent in his KV-1 yet again. Not sure why he's driving at only, there we go. I was going to say, not really sure what's going on here, but apparently he started typing, which limited his top speed. Now this will be assault on Prokhorovka, yeah, in a tier 7 match. So a bit heavier than the last match he was in. If you recall, that was a maximum of tier 5, so he is certainly not the heavy hitter in this match that he was in the previous match. But not too many tier 7s per team, only 2 per team, then a few tier 6s, and then it goes into tier 5s, and then tier 4 artillery. So enough of the tank breakdown. Let's start looking at the game here. Tank destroyer sitting on the hill. Mediums kind of sitting on the hill too. Can't say I agree with that decision all that much, but tank destroyers up on the hill are certainly acceptable. However, I prefer heavies and mediums really get down near these tracks, especially when there's not that much artillery. He's calling attention to this heavy push in the south apparently. 4 tanks, so that's approximately, I'd say there's probably a 5th one there somewhere. So a third of the enemy team going for this one location sounds about right when there's 3 parts to cross on the railroads, right? Okay, certainly, yeah, like I said, 6, no, I think, yeah, there's a 6th one, that medium, I mean, that light, wow, I cannot think right now, But yes, certainly a strong push to the north and a strong push to the south. Not really sure if they're gonna try anything right up the middle here. The T50/2 or dash 2. I just call them dashers. Not really, yeah, the enemy team definitely doing a significant push in the north and a significant push in the south, but nothing really straight up the middle. Can't really say that's too much of a popular option. Not too many people are fond of just charging right through the center where everyone has a gun sight on you. Can't say I blame them, but both, that Panther's down here, and I could have sworn I saw the T-29 also get spotted down here. So both the enemy's tier 7s to the south, causing a definite amount of concern, but especially considering there's only the T-34 and Mr. KV-1 on this. Now his team on the hill can help support him, so he's not entirely alone. However, those guys to the north are a bit more isolated, and if they cannot stop that northern push, there will be a lot of hurt coming from that direction. Mr. What was that? M18, of course, Mr. Hellcat running like hell towards his hill. Not really sure exactly what he hopes to accomplish by doing that. Perhaps spot Artie, but he's going to be in for a rude awakening when he discovers artillery is not there. Probably going to get himself shot here by Mr. Cobra, and I was absolutely right. Mr. M18 not going to really make it that far up the hill. The enemy team not really utilizing this distraction to the best of their ability and not pushing that hill. Yes, I was right. The T-29, so both of their tier 7s, both of their heavy hitters are here in the south. Certainly a large large amount of concern going through Mr. Cobra's head at this point, I am sure. The push to the north really seems to be stalled at this point. They don't really want to seem to go over those railroad tracks, and that seems to be the same thing here in the south. That KV-1 potentially gonna just blitz right over. Yes, he would have had Mr. Cobra not taken the wise shot and knocked off his track. Mr. Panther taking the shot from Mr. KV-1 there. Good job, I would say, if that was actually an effort at teamwork and not just a pure chance and coincidence thing. The Panther, not really sure what he did there other than ram that tank and get himself tracked. I think he probably killed him via ram, but the T-29 being completely oblivious to this to his team, Mr. Cobra's team here in the south. Completely ignoring them, getting shot up a bit. The T-29 should be using his turret armor a little more and not pushing so far over that hill. Ooh, taking a nice solid hit there from not sure exactly what, but he is certainly in a position to get himself killed. Mr. Cobra aiming for not really the softest part of his tank. In my opinion, he might have been able to aim a little lower. That hole was probably exposed. At least it looked that way to me. And then again, the depression on the KV's gun and Russian guns in general is not that great. So I might not be right in that. The M10 definitely soft in its armor. I know that's a fact. It will not be able to stop the onslaught of shells that will pummel it should it decide to go over. The M36 deciding to join the fray here, but the entire enemy team in the south really soft. They're just soft and beat up and just really all potential one-shots at this point. If I was Cobra, I would probably be backing up a little bit, kind of making myself disappear into the brush. Not really, ooh, that IS killing that M36. Mr. IS, if you could not tell, is approximately in Foxtrot 8. So, able to get a nice cross shot on that. That Panzer IV apparently trying to shoot Cobra, but doing nothing but bouncing a shell. Panzer IV bouncing a shell from Cobra's gun because, well, it's got pretty decent armor, especially in its turret, but most tanks have a decent amount of armor on their turret if you hit them in their mantle. The KV-1S is going to try to push over, will get himself killed. The M10 was thinking about it, but he stopped partway up and decides to back off. Probably the wise decision. It's looking like an almost guaranteed win at this point for Cobra's team. You know, just stopping this push to the south, dead in their tracks. Really showing the fact that even though those two tanks were higher tiers than him, that with the proper amount of support, like the amount of support he had from the hill and also from the town area, he was really able to take him on and get them caught in the crossfire. Now, the enemy team not really being fully aware of just how much of a crossfire was there, and that really proved to be their downfall. Now, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Ooh, aiming a little high there at the end, almost shooting him in the turret. Again, you do not want to shoot any of the American heavies in their turret, at least not in the front of their turret. You always go for that softer hull armor, and at this point, it's a guaranteed win. There is absolutely no comeback for the enemy team. And that is really, like I said, all thanks to that crossfire that Cobra's team had going. They were able to really stop all of the pushes just because there were so many guns trained on it. It didn't really come down to the number of tanks on the tracks. It came to the number of tanks looking at those different crossings. So just because the enemy team thought they had an advantage, that was not the reality. There were plenty of tanks waiting to just simply unleash a fury of shots that rained down upon them in such a overwhelming manner that they just got pummeled before they even had a chance to retreat. So Mr. Cobra here getting a good number of kills, 4 kills at this point, and I don't think he's missed a shot yet. So probably going to get sniper at this point, and 3002 DB sacrificing his life for really no apparent reason. Good amount of experience, good amount of credits for Cobra. And personal achievements, 14 for 14 shots. Definitely a good accomplishment, getting him the only battle hero achievement, which would be sniper. And without any further ado, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you've got a replay like Cobra here, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email is in the description. And as always, this is Spang signing off.